fastball, he can be back to being that pitcher, but his fastball's not elite. And there was obviously some sort of deception. Did that deception go where? Did the league figure him out? That's another question that has to be answered, and he has to figure it out himself. He punched at the league in his rookie season, and he punched hard. But the league is punching even harder back at him. And it doesn't appear as if he's making any adjustments because he keeps throwing that fastball up in the zone, and it keeps getting hammered, and his off-speed is leaving up, and it gets hammered. He's starting to look like the Orioles pitcher that we saw in 2017, where he got mashed and the Orioles DFA'd him in September. They had no reason to, and they did. He's starting to look like that pitcher again. But here's the thing. If he can get back to the 2018 form, getting those swings and misses on his high fastball, it'd be good stuff. And he had good momentum going into his last outing on a Thursday night when he just got shelled. He had momentum riding into that, and it just about killed it. Because he had pitched 3 scoreless outings before that, and it started to look like, hey, we're seeing the Richard Rodriguez of old. And we need the Richard Rodriguez of old, too. We need him. That's the thing. We need Richard Rodriguez to show up and be the pitcher he was last season, because if he can, it just makes this bullpen that much deeper. While we still wait on the return of Keone Kela and Nick Burdi. And I really thought we'd be getting Kela back sometime this weekend, but, obviously we're not. He's going to be shut down for 10 days and reevaluated. And Nick Burdi, it's a long road back for him as well. As I say, there's no rest for the weary, and for this Pirates bullpen, that couldn't be more true right now. Now, Clint Hurdle is going to have to make some decisions in games where he has to go to guys that aren't necessarily on a Cricker Vasquez, where he has to trust Rookie Davis or trust Clay Holmes. I hope Montana Rapao gets another shot, because I thought he was going to be a guy that enters the Wolfpack. Maybe we give Michael Feliz another opportunity. Dovidas Neverauskas, right? These are guys we can give opportunities to that might have more success than Jeff Hartley and Richard Rodriguez. And, everybody was high on Jeff Hartley, too. I cannot say the same for myself. I saw him pitch in the Arizona Fall League. He did not inspire me much. But he does have that 98-mile-per-hour devastating sinker. If he can control that and get ground balls, he can be a reliable guy. But he's still a rookie, and he's still figuring himself out. That's the problem. He's figuring out who he is as a pitcher, and you can't be doing that at the big league level. That's what the minors are for. Send him down, send Richard Rodriguez down, get Montana Rapao back up here, and get Michael Feliz back up here. Give them another opportunity, give them a shot, because they certainly deserve it more than Hartley and Rodriguez do. They certainly do. So it will be interesting to see how this Pirates bullpen shapes up this week and the rest of the season while they await the return of Keone Kela and Nick Burdi. The Pirates capped the month of May off with a victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. Friday night at PNC Park, a pair of struggling veteran starting pitchers locked horns. Chris Archer led the Pittsburgh Pirates into battle against Jhoulys Chacin and the Milwaukee Brewers. While both pitchers hit rough patches, Archer, unlike Chacin, was able to settle in and turn in a strong start. Led by Archer, the Pirates picked up a 9-4 victory over the Brewers. With the victory, the team finishes the month of May with a record of 28-28. Considering the amount of injuries and ineffectiveness that has plagued the pitching staff, the team being at 500 2 months into the season is quite the accomplishment. Early on in the game, the Pirates set the tone. Archer fired a 5-pitch 1-2-3 top of the first inning. And then in the bottom half of the inning, Starling Marte singled with 2 outs and stole second base. This was followed by a run-scoring single by Josh Bell to give the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Bell's single was a historic one. The hit gave him 93 total bases in the month of May. This broke Ralph Connor's franchise record for the most total bases by a hitter in a single month in franchise history. In the bottom of the third inning, the wheels fell off for Chacin. Kevin Newman, Gregory Polanco, and Marte hit 3 consecutive singles to start the inning. Then with 1 out, Brian Reynolds and Carl Moran drew back-to-back walks. Moran's came with the bases loaded and extended the Pirate lead to 4-1. And then with 2 outs, Adam Frazier and Archer also drew consecutive walks. This made the score 5-1 and brought Chacin's night to an end. Freddie Peralta replaced Chacin and was greeted by a Newman single. This hit made the score 7-1 Pirates. The top of the 4th inning was a lone inning in which Archer struggled. After retiring the first 2 batters he faced, he allowed a double to Mike Moustakas. After issuing a walk, he allowed a home run to Keston Hiura. That cut the Pirate lead to 7-4. After allowing the next 2 batters to reach, he picked up a strikeout to end the inning. In 7 innings of work, Archer allowed the 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 7. His fastball was sitting in the mid to upper 90s, which was the firmest it has been all season. Archer's slider looked like the wipeout pitch it was when he was with Tampa Bay, and he was mixed in a good-looking changeup as well. Outside of the 4th inning, Archer just allowed 2 base runners in his start. If the Pirates can get this version of Archer once every 5 days, the team will gladly take it. This game appeared to be the first step toward Archer getting back on track. Hopefully, we will look back on this game as a turning point for Archer's season. When his night ended, he received a well-deserved standing ovation from the large crowd at PNC Park. An RBI single by Moran and Jacob Stallings reaching on an error by Hiura in the bottom of the 6th inning pushed 2 more Pirates runs across the plate. This made the score 9-4 Bucks and gave them some breathing room. Francisco Liriano replaced Archer in the 8th inning. Liriano continued a strong start to the season by retiring the Brewers in order in the 8th inning. He now owns a 1.03 ERA and a 2.73 FIP in 26 1/3 innings pitched this season. In need of work, closer Felipe Vasquez took the hill in the 9th inning. Pitching on his t-shirt night, Vasquez did not look like a pitcher who has not been used much lately. He retired 3 of the 4 batters he faced, recording a pair of strikeouts and threw multiple pitches over 100 miles per hour to slam the door on the Brewers in a 9-4 victory. Friday's victory was a methodical effort from the Pirates offense. To go along with drawing 5 walks, the team racked up 13 hits in the victory. All 13 hits were singles, and the team's 9 runs were the most in the game without recording an extra base hit since 2003. A 3rd game of the series is scheduled for this afternoon at 4:05 and will be broadcast nationally on FS1. Nick Kingham with an 8.28 ERA and a 4.54 FIP will start for the Pirates, while the Brewers will counter with Brandon Woodruff, a 3.22 ERA and a 3.61 FIP. Ready the alcohol now. It could be a long day for Pirate fans. Hopefully it's not a long day with Brandon Woodruff going, who's been very good for the Brewers, and Nick Kingham, who's been inconsistent at best for the Pirates. It could be a long day, but Nick Kingham, he really pitched very well in his last time out. He only lasted, I think, 4 innings. But he was like immaculate through 4 innings. He was amazing. But then he struggled in that 5th inning. We'll see what Nick Kingham we get today. We'll see. And let's just go in the rewind machine. Today is Heritage Day. So the Pirates will be wearing the Crawfords uniforms. I believe the Brewers will be wearing the Milwaukee Bears. And this matchup happened last year. It was Heritage Night, and Nick King got the win. So hopefully, and he pitched very well in that game too. So hopefully the Pirates can sort of repeat history and get Nick King going this afternoon. Because both Kingham and Brault pitched very well in Cincinnati, but Cincinnati is Cincinnati, right? They're the Reds. This is the Brewers, a very good lineup. See what Nick Kingham can do. Hopefully he can do what Archer did and show up and have, an inning, the first inning where he says, I'm here, let's go. He needs to have that type of inning right away. Right away, he needs to show up and say, I'm here, let's get this going. It's Nick Kingham time. That's what Archer did last night. And if King can do that, we're going to be successful. Hopefully he doesn't embarrass himself on national TV as it'll be televised on FS1, not AT&T Sportsnet. And just let's revisit the game last night. Let's do that. Last night was about as methodical of a night as you can get for this Pirates offense. They singled the Brewers to death. 13 hits were all singles. 5 walks. Patient, methodical Pirates baseball. And that's how the Pirates are going to win this year. By waiting out guys, by being methodical, by getting their hits. Okay? This team has a few home run hitters, most notably Josh Bell. Outside of that, Marte can go yard, Polanco, Moran. Diaz should pop last season, but that hasn't showed up this season. And Newman and Frazier are going to be your contact guys. So, this Pirates offense is going to be predicated on getting those singles, getting those extra base hits. And we didn't get those extra base hits. We didn't. But we singled them to death, as I said. And you can win baseball games that way. You can score 9 runs that way, as we proved last night. By putting good will on the ball, making good contact. It doesn't have to go super far, as we showed last night. But we played very well. It was a well-played baseball game last night. Chris Archer showed up in front of a big crowd, and he dominated. The line score may not look pretty, and I've talked to fans on my Instagram account that, hey, how is 7 innings, 4 runs a gem? Well, if you're there or if you watch, you would know. Chris Archer threw a gem. Outside of that 4th inning, he let up 2 base runners, guys. And I've talked a lot about with just fans of this Pittsburgh Pirates team how Chris Archer is a good pitcher, and we can't use a handful of starts to justify how he's bad. Yes, that ERA is inflated, but when you're early in the season as he is, 8-9 starts in, and because of that thumb issue, those bad starts are going to inflate the ERA. But I truly believe that last night was a turning point for his 2019 season. Before the thumb issue, he was dynamo. Absolutely lights out. He was a Chris Archer we all expected we were going to get when we traded for him last July. Last night was Chris Archer's night. Hopefully it's a breakout night for him, and he can use that as a catapult into the rest of the 2019 season, because we need him. We do. Jordan Lyles has been the most reliable pitcher for this Pirates team in 2019, and who would have thought we'd be saying that 2 months into the season as the calendar flips to June? Who would have thought we'd be saying that Jordan Lyles is this team's ace? Because he is right now, with Jameson, Tyner, and Trevor Williams on the injury list. Joe Musgrove has the stuff to do it. He just, frankly, hasn't been doing it. And his last 3 innings of work on Thursday were very encouraging, very encouraging. If he can take those 3 innings that he worked and take them into his next start, I believe it'll be at home against Atlanta, do good stuff. And then you get Chris Archer, who's been inconsistent, but if he can use this start as a catapult and turn it into a fantastic season, we need that. We need Lyles. We need Archer. We need Musgrove right now. And hopefully King and Brault can use their last 2 starts as springboards into, being competent Major League pitchers until Tyne and Williams get back. Williams will be back within a month. Tyne should be back at some point next month in July. So we're going to have to weather this storm. King and Brault are going to continue to get starts. Musgrove, with his inconsistencies, is going to continue to get starts, and so is Archer. Lyles is the center point of that staff, and we really dodged the bullet with this hamstring issue. Hopefully it does not crop up tomorrow, Sunday when he starts. We need Lyles healthy. And if he would have went down and if that hamstring issue does crop up again, where do we go? Where? Because at that point, you're looking at a rotation of Musgrove, Archer, King and Brault, and I presume rookie Davis. Maybe Mitch Keller. And, yeah, that's what the Pirates are looking at this point, and we'll see how the rotation stacks up the rest of this week, and hopefully it's not a long day for Pirates fans, but we'll see how it goes on Chris Archer Bobblehead Day. The Pirates are now 5-7 in their last 12 games. Last Monday, the Pittsburgh Pirates were enjoying an off day after going 7-4 on an 11-game road trip. This trip, which saw the team play those 11 games in 11 days, could prove to be the most challenging trip of the season. After going 7-4 on the trip, the team owned a 24-20 record and looked ready to finish May strong. Baseball, however, is not always that simple. Since then, the team has sputtered to a 4-8 record. The latest loss came by the score of 11-5 in the first game of a 4-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers on Thursday night. Following the loss, the team has fallen back under 500 on the season at 27-28. The month of May has not been kind to Pirate starter Joe Musgrove, as we covered on the Instagram account Earlier, a big reason for this is a drop in strikeout rate and whiffs this month. In his final start of the month, Musgrove's May struggles continued. While Musgrove was able to generate more swings and misses than he had